Number 4 is parallax issues. So when we have the OSMO on the top, front mirror, the stand and the iPad is leant back a bit. So we will get distortion coming out this way. So we need to correct that distortion. And the way we do that is we use these sliders, or we can use automatic. Now there are 2 methods of doing this. If you use the manual mode, use this picture here, and I've just mounted it on, stuck it onto a bit of card so it lies flat. So I'd put that in front of my screen. That's the manual way of doing it, which we'll have a look. There is also an automatic way of doing it, which will use this picture here. This is just printed out of an inkjet printer. I stuck it on a bit of card to keep it flat, and I put it in front of the eye. Won't do anything at the moment, but that's just to show you what the picture looks like. Now you can see this picture. You don't have to use this one, but this is the one that is supplied with Camera Lucida. Where do I find this picture? Part of this issue. Where do I find it? You look at the top left-hand side here, where we've still got this menu up, we see a little picture. And the picture we see is the picture of this. There it is, top left-hand side. Press that button. There is our picture. This picture is this printout. Above is your current target, which is the default one. This is for automatically setting up the parallax. When you hit the auto button, it's this button here, says auto exclamation mark on it. Camera Lucida looks for this image, this one that you've printed out, on your drawing surface. Here is my drawing surface. Press the more button to change or print the image. So I could change this image if I wanted to use a different image for automatic mode, but let's keep it simple and use this nice printout that we've already got that is supplied by Peter. So as it says, press the more button to change or print the image. So if I don't have this printed out, I go to more. It says more up on the top left hand side here, more. Now when I select that, it says print, save, target. Here we are, print, save, target. So if I haven't got a printout of this, I need to get one. The way I get this printout is I go to more and I select print, save, target. When I press that, it will ask me print or save the current target image. Now you can save it so you can send it or email it to yourself and print it on another printer. Or if your iPad is connected to your Wi-Fi or network printer, you can just literally select print to my network printer. I won't do it because I've already done it. Cancel that. That would print out this. Now, because it's quite a lot of ink on here, as you can see, it does tend to curl a little bit on the edges. So get a Pritt stick or a bit of glue and stick it onto an old bit of cardboard or card to keep it nice flat. So here we are. We've now got our automatic printout. This is the printout that is going to automatically set up the parallax issues that we might have with having my iPad on a stand that's angled back slightly with the front. And we also have this menu up. So here we are. We can see my hand in front and we can see this. So what I want to do now is I want to basically this software to automatically set up the parallax. Now you can see it's not quite at the top, and if I move this forward slightly, I can probably get it in a better position, say about there. Doesn't have to exact, but I'm going to put it there. So I've got my printout in front of me, got this menu up, and I'm ready to now press the auto button. If I press auto, it says working. So what it's doing now is it's trying to set up parallax automatic for you. Now it says auto alignment complete. Would you like to visually confirm your camera's adjustment? Just to check, you can see that now this image is now completely parallel to my iPad, this side and this side. And if you see, all of the image is mapped correct to the image that's on here. So you can see that this is now completely set up. Now I selected yes. Now what's it doing now? Well, it's pulsating. So this image is pulsating, showing the image that it's on the screen of this, and it's showing this printout that we've got here. The reason it's pulsating is because it's showing first the image on the screen, then the image on here, and if they're in alignment with each other. And as you can see, slightly out, and we could adjust that. For the time being, let's just say that's fine. So you can see before we had this angle here going way off, but now it's nice parallel. And I can change the speed of this pulsating image. So I've got the hare or the rabbit or whatever it is that goes faster, and I've got the tortoise which goes slower. If I go like this, you can see it's now pulsating a lot slower, probably too slow. Here we go, pulsing away. You can see that the copyright is pretty much spot on. Camera Lucida, this wording and the text is spot on. Most of the colors at the top are mapped exactly exactly right. The ones at the bottom slightly out. Now, to keep things simple, we'll say that's perfectly acceptable. So what do we do now? We select done. So I now have my Camera Lucida app and my iPad and my stand, OSMO Mirror, completely in alignment to start painting or drawing without getting distortion. Now, before I get rid of this menu here, I need to select save. This option here, which says save. This saves all of this information so that we don't have to do this again when we come back into using Camera Lucida. So I press save, just checking. Would you like to save these camera settings? Yes, please. Saved. That's it. That is now saved. Now, if you take this iPad away, go and watch a film on it, do some emails, whatever you want to do, come back, put your stand in the same position because you've got it marked, put the OSMO Mirror on the top, select your front camera without having to use this here. You don't have to use this anymore. You can just go to your iPad and you can select restore, and that will restore your iPad to the correct position so that you don't get distortion. That is the automatic way of setting up your iPad so that you don't get parallax. Now, that's enough as you need to know, but I will cover the manual method as well just shortly. So that was issue number 4. To get rid of this menu up here, you press the little camera and we're now back to our drawing. Now, if you get to drawing mode and you don't see your pen, see the image here and zoom it to how you want to paint it, but you don't see your hand in front of it to paint. You think, oh, where's it gone? So you need to make sure you go into your camera. You need to make sure you have the front camera select, obviously with the OSMO on top. Lastly, so that you actually start drawing this, you need to come out of the setup mode, which is all these icons on the bottom, and you need to go into draw mode, which is selecting the hand with the pen in it at the bottom. So I'm now in draw mode, so I can draw away. Now, if you can't quite see your pen as you're drawing, change the transparency slider along the bottom. So you can see if I move it to the left, I see more of my drawing surface. If I slide it more to the right, I can vaguely see my drawing, but I can see more of the image. In drawing mode, I can zoom in and my pen stays in exactly the same position. So when I zoom in, it's still just underneath that branch. If I zoom out, it's still in the same position. That means when I come to draw and I want to do some fine details, I can zoom into that detail, select my transparency, I can draw there, and it'll always be in the right position. If I was to do that and I was not in draw mode, in other words, if I go back to setup mode, it looks very similar. That's the same image, same proportions and everything. But if I place my pen on this branch here, just going to place it on this branch here. If I zoom in, my pen is no longer on that branch, it's moved. So I've now lost my position of drawing. If you ever do that and you're not in draw mode, you have to move your image back somehow to where you want it so that you can carry on drawing. And it's the devil's own job to do that. So if you want to remember, perhaps this is hint number 5, are we on? Always be in draw mode when you're drawing because you can zoom in and out. Do not be in setup mode. That's that little problem. Next, we're going to move on to manual setup.